In the mid-1800s, over 100,000 Belgian immigrants came to the United States to pursue better lives for their families. They settled all across the Midwest, but the largest settlement was in southern Door County.
One of the reasons we understand that people travel, I know I do when I travel, is to learn about the history of the area. This area has been recognized by the state and federal governments for its historical significance. It was settled in the 1850s, and the reason they settled here was because this was the frontier. Wisconsin became a state in 1848, and they were looking to attract residents. This area was being promoted domestically as well as internationally as a place to settle and make your fortune in America.
What they didn't realize is they bought land for $1.25 an acre, but they came over to farm. And once they got here, to find out that to farm they had to clear these huge trees was not in their itinerary.
In order to prepare the land for farming, early Belgian farmers had to clear the dense forests by hand. Controlled fires were used to clean up the slash, but often these fires got out of control.
All these little fires were burning for months, the same with on the Peshtigo side. And a wind came through that united all of these small fires and made it one huge fire with winds up to 200 miles an hour. It spread from the New Franken area, and it came all the way up the peninsula and stopped just short of Sturgeon Bay.
The Peshtigo Fire was the deadliest wildfire in United States history, occurring on the same day as the Chicago Fire. It claimed nearly 2,500 lives, with the flames completely devastating everything in their path, including much of the forested area yet to be cleared by the settlers. When the smoke cleared, the survivors rebuilt their homes, but this time out of bricks, made from the red clay prevalent in the area.
It took a lot of hard work for them to settle here. And so what was near and dear to their heart were their traditions and their customs. And they brought a lot of that over with them when they came.
The Roadside Chapels are a very neat part of our heritage. Every chapel was built with a particular saint in mind. Lots of them are dedicated to the Blessed Virgin because that's a very sacred person in the Belgian community. Between Door County, Brown, and Cumani, there are still 30 chapels.
One of the things that when my mother was little, they only spoke Walloon in their household. And when I was little, I wanted to learn it, but it was the thing that's the way they talked about us kids when they didn't want us to know something, they spoke in Walloon.
Mon nom c'est Teresa, je rends à la Landry. J'aime de la housse de 17, 1937. To me, it's very important because I was raised in this area and I spoke Walloon from time I was born, with my grandmother especially, but my mother never spoke anything other than Walloon with me.
A lot of the traditions and customs from the old country have survived even today. For example, we celebrate a Kermis,
which literally means church mass. Originally, it was a 3-day affair.
The Kermis is really the big thing where they socialize and get together and the families come back, all the relatives, every relative, even your shirt tail people that you didn't even know are there for the Kermis and for the meal.
Bouilla is a chicken-based soup. It was made predominantly in the fall of the year because it gathered up all your vegetables from the gardens, and it was a good, hearty soup. Belgian shrimp looks like a bratwurst. or pork sausage, and it's pork inside, but it also has cabbage in, which makes it unique.
What is a Belgian pie? It's a sweet raised dough pastry that is usually filled with fruit and topped with a cottage cheese topping. It's important to pass along the traditions because it connects you with those who came before.
Many of us are very interested in where we came from and how we got here, and it's just a fascinating story.